Good morning. It is Thursday, January the 21st, and this is The Drill. Thank you. The prayer of the day from the book titled Daily Declarations for Spiritual Warfare. I will light your candle and enlighten your darkness. My light will shine upon your head. I will give you the treasures of darkness and the hidden riches in my secret places. I will let you understand the deep things in my heart. You will be able to understand the parables I have spoken and the mystery of my will for you. I will unveil the mysteries of my kingdom, and I will speak to you with revelation. If you will turn your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding, and call out for insight and understanding, then you will understand my knowledge. For I will give wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will make your paths straight. Psalms 119, Corinthians 2, Proverbs 3. Father, I kneel before you today and pray that out of your glorious riches you will strengthen me with power through your Holy Spirit who resides within me. Dwell in my heart in your fullness. I am rooted and established in your love. I know your love surpasses any other knowledge, and I want to be filled to the measure of your fullness. Amen. Welcome to the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. Today, is going to be a change. I was going to speak about the violence in the American left, but there are a couple of things that are more current events or topically oriented that are going to take priority, and that is Sean Hannity gets it right, and a sincere thank you article to former President Donald Trump. All that when I come back. Thank you. So I want to play a clip for you of Sean Hannity criticizing Senator Mitch McConnell, and then give you a little explanation afterwards as to why this is important.
Mitch, I will give you an A+ on getting constitutionalist judges on the bench. Been great on judges. But frankly, it looks like it's time now. If you're going to go along with all of this nonsense, we need new leadership in the U.S. Senate. You can represent the people of Kentucky. You're showing basically right now that you're the king of the establishment Republicans that frankly have always had and remain having contempt for President Trump, but more importantly, the 75 million Americans that voted for him. Americans want somebody that will fight for their values and principles, not scheme behind closed doors with your buddy Chucky Schumer. Every Republican in the Senate, let me be even more clear. Not one Republican senator should be wasting a second of precious time, you're off half the year anyway, on this post-presidential impeachment charade. Every Republican senator needs to walk out of what will be an impeachment shift show. Probably Romney, Sass, and Murkowski will stay. And when it's over, Republicans should walk back in and acquit the President of the United States, or former president at the time, and stop the unconstitutional shift show. And Mitch, if the choice, to be frank with you, is weak establishment republicanism versus America first, I choose the latter. I venture to guess the overwhelming majority of Republicans would agree with me. It's why I'm not a Republican. I'm a registered conservative. Your fellow Kentucky Senator, Rand Paul, is absolutely right.
So, again, and what's important about this is that Sean Hannity gets it right. He is, for once in, a long time, for the first time in a long time, he is not neutral. He comes out and tells things more or less the way they are. He calls out Mitch McConnell by name. You can't just say establishment Republicans and get away with that kind of thing. You need to call out the bad actors, right or left, by name. That is the way to put pressure on them, and that is the way to get them to change their behavior. So kudos to Sean Hannity for coming out and telling Mitch McConnell what should have been said a long time ago. And that is that we're done with you. I think he could have been bolder, Sean Hannity, and tell Mitch McConnell to get out of office entirely. But at the very least, yes, he should step down as the so-called leader. Sean Hannity also touched on something that I firmly believe it goes on in Congress, and that Mitch McConnell doesn't look at it as Republicans versus Democrats, but as incumbents versus challengers, and that he sees all people in the Senate, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, as being incumbents, and that it's their job to get reelected and to fend off challenges from the challengers. So also Mitch McConnell is a party guy. That's why he does what he does. He is down for the party. He's not down for his constituents. He's down for the party. He went to Washington many, many years ago. Somebody invited him to get on a committee. And that's the way it always starts. Brand new, hi, here's your committee assignment. And so as soon as you become a committee member, the party owns you. The party will now tell you what to vote for, what to vote against, etc. They'll basically tell you what to do, where to go, and how to hang your laundry. And whatever priorities you had or your constituents had are now going to go down the drain. So good for Sean Hannity for criticizing Senator Mitch McConnell. And when I come back, I'm going to read an article that was that really touches the way I feel about President Donald Trump. But it's an article that sincerely thanks President Donald Trump when I come back. Thank you. And so this article, let's see if I can figure out who it is that, there it is right there. It's from the Boston Herald, and which is interesting that a columnist for any newspaper in the country would be thanking Donald Trump, because I would just assume generally that they're all raving socialist lunatics. But anyways, Howie Carr is the guy that says, "Thanks for everything, President Trump." He starts, "Thanks for the balance in my 401k, tax cuts for the middle class, and destroying ISIS. Thank you, Mr. President, for everything you've done. It shouldn't be ending this way, but I and 74 million other Americans just want to thank you for all your efforts on our behalf over the past 4 years. Actually, since you came down the escalator at Trump Tower back in the summer of 2015. In no particular order, thank you for restoring the U.S. as the world's leading producer of energy. After your predecessor sternly lectured us that we couldn't drill our way out of our dependence on unstable Middle Eastern oil products. Thank you for the tax cuts for the middle class. Thank you for destroying genocidal ISIS, which your predecessor called the junior varsity. Thanks for shutting off the endless flow of illegal immigrants at the southern border and the unending supply of MS-13 gangbangers, among other criminals, as well as the welfare-dependent illiterate indigents who were so destabilizing American society before you became president. Thank you for calling out the endless hypocrisy of the media, what you so aptly described as very fake news. Thank you for promoting economic policies that led to the lowest unemployment rates ever for blacks, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, and women, among others. Thank you for doing more to promote peace in the Middle East than all of your predecessors combined. Thank you for calling out and exposing the feckless rhinos of your own party like Willard, Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, Kelly Ayotte et al. Thanks for finally standing up to Red China and its predatory trade practices. Thanks for calling out Fox News Channel for its duplicitous descent into terminal wickedness. Thank you for Operation Warp Speed, an amazing achievement for which you will never receive the appropriate credit. Thanks for pardoning all the persecuted victims of the Russian collusion hoax, among them General Michael Flynn and Roger Stone. Thank you for eliminating Obamacare's individual mandate, which fined individuals for not buying health insurance they didn't want or couldn't afford. Thank you for taking more questions from, almost always hostile, reporters than all of the last 3 or 4 presidents combined. Thanks for getting the U.S. out of such foreign policy disasters as the Iran nuclear deal, the Paris Climate Accords, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, as well as ending the fiasco for American workers that was NAFTA. Thanks for such a boomerang economy that 7 million people got off the food stamp rolls. Thanks for all those tweets that drove the Democrats and the media, but I repeat myself, crazy. Also, a personal note on Twitter. Thanks for 3 tweets promoting my book, What Really Happened, How Donald J. Trump Saved America from Hillary Clinton. As Donald Trump Jr. told me, that's 2 tweets more than he gave my book. Thank you for not turning the IRS into an instrument of persecution against your political foes the way your predecessor did. Thanks for not surveilling reporters a la the Obama administration. Thanks for ending state oppression against people of faith like the Little Sisters of the Poor. Thank you for trying to defund sanctuary cities where illegals run amok. Thanks for the 3 new justices on the Supreme Court. Think how much worse Hillary's picks would have been, and maybe someday they'll grow the spines they so obviously lacked last month in Texas v. Pennsylvania. Thank you for defanging North Korea and Little Rocket Man. Thanks for opening up more of our North Atlantic waters for the New England commercial fishermen and lobstermen. Thanks for defending both the First and Second Amendments and for railing against Section 230, which the billionaire fascists of Silicon Valley are abusing to shut down free speech. Thank you for appointing U.S. attorneys who actually wanted to put real criminals in prison. And that was from the Boston Herald, from the Boston Herald, thanking, let's see, did we get, oh, okay, there's still more here. Apparently my phone froze up for a second. Thanks for using the death penalty when necessary against the worst of the worst serial killers. Thank you for the travel ban, which has largely halted the flow of terrorists like the Tsarnaevs, who have been welcomed in the U.S. and put on welfare by previous administrations, Democrat and Republican alike. Thanks for the balance of my 401k. Thanks for the lowest gasoline prices in decades. Thanks for the largest number of Americans with gainful employment since the government started keeping records. Thank you for ordering the elimination of 2 of the most bloodthirsty terrorists on earth, Ali Baghdadi and General Soleimani. To borrow a line from The Last Hurrah, how do you thank a guy for a million laughs? Thanks for all the great nicknames. Cricket Hillary, Lil Marco, Low Energy Jeb, etc. Thanks for all the amazingly entertaining rallies, if not for bringing back the Village People's Macho Man song. Mr. President, I could go on and on, but all of us deplorables and bitter clingers and credulous boomer rubes just want you to know how much we appreciate the 4 years you gave us to prepare and fortify ourselves for the impending disaster ahead. We'll be back, Mr. President, and so will you. That's the article from the Boston Herald thanking President Trump for his 4 years of service. And he should be working on his second term, but that's another matter for another time. Back in a minute. Thank you. And on our next, on the next episode, so it's going to be more daily declarations for spiritual warfare, and what are the Republican multimillionaires doing with their money? And next week I will begin a President Trump retrospective and taking a look ahead to see what kind of challenges we might be facing. That concludes another episode of The Drill. Be honest, be smart, and be beautiful. I'm Ron, and that's The Drill.